Shalom Aleichem. Today is the 17th day of Tammuz. The Gemara in Tainus teaches us that there were 5 tragedies, 5 tragic events which happened on the 17th day of the month of Tammuz. First of all, Nishtabru Aluchos. Moshe Rabbeinu broke the Luchos after the terrible sin of the golden calf. Second, Batla Tamid, the Korban Tamid, which was still being brought somehow by the Jewish people when they were being sieged. They were no longer able to bring the sacrifice up because the Romans would no longer supply the sheep. Number 3, the main tragedy in which we commemorate on this sad day, Hufka'u Ha'ir. The city was breached and the Romans were able to come in and make war, eventually making their way to destroy the Beit HaMikdash on the 9th of Av. 4th, Apustamus, who was apparently a Roman Shar, a Roman leader, burnt the Torah. And 5th, Nichnas Tselem Lehechel, a idolatrous idol was placed into the Beit HaMikdash, into the sanctuary. It's unclear if this is done by Menashe or perhaps by Apustamus. Asked Rav Yaakov Ettlinger, the Aruch Laner, what exactly is the connection between these 5 tragedies? And he answers a little bit in the derech of Musar, that really this isn't just talking about tragedies that happen on a national level, but on a personal level. This is the pathway in which we go off the derech of Hashem. It all starts from Batla HaTamid. Not Batla HaTamid, but when Shivru Aluchos, when the Luchos of Torah study are broken, when you leave the Beis Medrash and you no longer make a set time to study Torah, then anything can happen. The second thing that often goes is davening. The Tamid, which represents Korbanot, also, of course, is related to our tefillos. We no longer have set tefillos, we no longer daven. You say, well, I'll daven once a week, maybe once a month, maybe Rosh Hashanah. And then once a person's not learning and not davening, hufka'ir. Anything can happen. The whole city's open. The world's a free place and many sins are available. And once a person is no longer keeping Torah and mitzvos, the Torah is burnt. In other words, he can become a kofar, he can rationalize all of the averos that he's doing. And then finally, atzelem, a cross, intermarriage, who knows, all sorts of terrible things can happen once you stop learning Torah and making set times to learn Torah and daven. That's the Aruch Laner's amazing shot. What went wrong and what we need to focus on the 17th of Tammuz to strengthen our Torah study, strengthen our tefillah. End off with one last idea shared by Rabbi Gladstein. There's 528 hours in the 3 weeks, 22 days times 24 hours. Says the Bnei Yisachar, what does the 528 hours correspond to? 528 prakim of Mishnayos. In other words, these are days when we need to strengthen our Torah study. Like Rabbi Nachman says, Tammuz stands for days of Zman Matan Toratenu and the Zman to Mechazik our Torah study. So if we're not sure what to take upon oneself during these 3 weeks, take upon ourselves to learn a little bit of extra Torah. And as a side perk, when you're learning Torah, you're always besimcha. That's why we don't learn Torah on Tisha B'Av. So during these next 3 weeks until Tisha B'Av, let's learn a lot of extra Torah, and that way we'll be besimcha, can overcome all of our challenges. Have a great day.